Alright, going to tie a Sili leg jig for you here today. Generally, I tie these in a 32nd ounce, but today we're going to tie it in a 16th ounce head. Let's see, a number 4 hook. Yeah, 16th ounce head, number 4 hook. I already put my thread on. I'm using a 70 denier orange UTC Ultra thread. You use whatever. Generally, when I tie a bigger jig like this, I use like a 210 or a 140. But I'm lazy today, and that's what I had on. And I'd usually use like a chartreuse, but the orange won't make a difference. So for the Sili leg, this is we're tying it chartreuse. This is a chartreuse with copper flake. So you're just going to take and pull one strand off the tab, pull it off at the top and the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and just match the tips together. It's a little fiddly. So we got them two matched together, and threads hanging about the hook point. That's where we're going to tie them in. Bird wants to be noisy in the background. I'm going to pull up and slightly towards you with the legs. Get them tied in really good. You don't want them to pull free. Make sure they're good and bound down. Then for chenille, this is CC Slab Slayer from Crazy Angler. If you're getting into jig tying or just want a place to get materials, Crazy Angler tackle is a great place to get them. Go ahead and pull the little tuft off so you got your cord exposed, and go ahead and bind that down. Bring that right back to the bend in the hook. Just advance the thread up to the jig head, and we're just gonna do nice tight wraps with the chenille. Sorry if this is moving around a lot on you. Get one more, maybe one more in there. There we go. That wrap down a few wraps. Cut your chenille free. We're going to throw a whipped finish on here. 4 turn, 5 turn. I don't know if you can see it. There's a little bit of the orange is showing through a little bit, and that's perfectly fine, especially on, a brightly colored jig. Trim the tails. I have this little spot here on my vise. That's what I use as a guide for cutting tails on my Sili legs. I like my tails fairly long on these jigs. So generally I cut it a little forward of the, you see this little nib here, I cut it a little forward of that, but they end up being not quite a hook shank and a half, but longer than a single hook shank. Go ahead and tie another one up for you real quick. Jig in the vise. Go ahead and wrap it down. Match the tails together, or the tips.
This is Kinney Drugstore, located at 7065 Manlius Center Road, calling to inform James Raymond. Your prescription order is ready for pickup. Please disregard this call if your order has already been picked up. Thank you.
Go ahead and tie them in just like we did last time. Feels like they want to get on one side a little bit, so go back to our chenille. Pull a little bit free to expose the cord, and capture that and tie it down back to the bend in the hook. Bring your thread back to the head and wrap your chenille. See, these are really quick to tie jigs. You know, even instructing, I got 2 done in 6 minutes. They're really effective. They kind of mimic, they mimic aquatic insects, and they kind of mimic fry too, with how that little tail that twitches. And these ones, when you tie in the second one, you get 2 tails out of, or 2 jigs out of 1 piece of skirt material. And the second one, sometimes you got to just split it in half right in the middle, and sometimes you can bring it back and cut it. Trying to see here, can't see past my fingers, but that's basically what the finished product looks like. This tail got a little fiddly, but it'll you can try and turn it a little. Yeah, that spun it a little back into place. It'll fish just fine. Here's the first one. Tail came out better on this one. But, you can just cast and retrieve these, hop them along the bottom, swim them back, however you want to fish them. You can also throw them on a jig spinner, like a beetle spin, that kind of deal. They work great like that too. Thanks for watching.